All right, what's up, everybody? Today, I got my friend Wally with us, and we are going to cover some, I guess, in general, the objections that we deal with on a daily basis. I wanted to kind of dive in on the seller side, a little bit of the buyer side,
Mm,
because we're in the middle of this great class that Wally has, and we're learning how to overcome the fear of picking up the telephone.
mhm.
And with that comes, conversations. And in conversations, we get stumped. So, in my opinion, Wally is the best on the planet at overcoming all the objections. So I wanted to kind of, you know, go back and forth, Wally, with some different, big, the biggest objections we get on the sell and buy side and how you've overcome them over the years. My team specifically learned so much from you. We used to do 1 hour calls 3 days a week on this topic. So with that, Wally, tell us a little bit about yourself and let's jump in.
Yes, I was raised by wolves in the backwoods of New Hampshire. No, kidding, of course. Yeah, thank you so much. I've known Matt for probably, I don't know, 12, 13 years. Had a great relationship with him, not just working, but also as friends. I've been in the real estate industry for 25 years. My first 14 months in the business, I was fortunate enough to be with the right people, and I sold 72 houses in the first 14 months. Ended up helping build one of the larger coal banker franchises in the world. After that, I've been coaching since 2021, full-time since '06. And I've had the good fortune of working with top agents like Matt around the United States and Canada over the last 22 years. I was fortunate to publish a book last year, and then I just co-authored a book called Six Figure Agent that came out on the 22nd. Fortunately, Amazon didn't want us to do that, so it's still floating in limbo. They've got some sort of hitch going on. So, and I've probably done over 40,000 live coaching calls and trainings with agents. So it's something I really enjoy. I'm passionate about. And last couple of years, like you said, I've been spending my time helping people overcome the challenges that keep them from being successful: procrastination, perfectionism, and other things that cause video and call and sales reluctance.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Well, with that, let's jump into it. So we'll start with the buy side.
Mhm.
So on the buy side, common objections today, what's your preferred way to handle, most of the conversations are going to be internet lead based,
Yeah.
right? So let's talk about outbound calls to internet buyers, right? They signed up to my website. They didn't really, call in and say, I want to see this property. The rejections that we typically hear, oh, not now, I was just looking, just browsing, stuff like that. So what's your goal in the first call? And what do you think everybody should
My
how should
goal
they
is
have
to
that
not
conversation?
not do any of this over text or email.
Right.
Having long conversations, trying to sell yourself over a text, not good. You know what I'm saying? I think the first thing is to realize that you have to have conversations if you're going to overcome objections, right?
Mhm.
Secondarily, I think it's important to identify the difference between a question and an objection. I think some people, when they get a question, feel like they have to somehow defend something, or they get an objection, they just answer a question. So it's pretty important that you understand the two. Question starts who, what, when, where, why, right? So it's pretty straightforward. Do you, would you, stuff like that. An objection is I don't want to, or I want to do, I want to wait, or whatever it is. So I think it's important to make sure you understand what you're handling before you get there. The next thing is there's, in my opinion, from the research I've done, all objections fall under 6 categories. There'll be motivation, timing, money. I'm going to do it. I have somebody else that's going to do it, or I already have a provider and I got to talk to somebody. So I think everything falls under that. So I think if you can compartmentalize your objections under those categories, it makes life a lot easier. The biggest objection on both buy and sell side right now is I want to wait. Uncertainty creates doubt. Doubt creates, what's the word I'm looking for here? Paralysis, if you will, by overanalysis. So, I want to wait. Pretty standard. I think it's important that you have a script. We can provide the same script we provide here. We can attach that to this as well. But you call somebody, hey, Bob, it's Wally calling. You were on our site recently looking for 5-bedroom 2-bath homes in Cherry Hill, and I was just calling to find out, are you looking to buy a home now? Are you looking to are you just window shopping? And that's
Yeah.
part of the reason we do that is because we don't want to fire something right out of the gate, because we know that People takes people about 10 to 30 seconds to realize that they do or do not know you. So something like that. Always have some sort of intro. Also, a good script for somebody who don't know always starts with, hey, name. This is name. Who I am, where I'm calling from, why I'm calling. Let's connect the dots for people, because there's a strong possibility that if they've gone on your site or you're paying a company to generate leads for you, that they're looking at other companies too. So I think it's important to take that in consideration. And then from there, hey, so are you window shopping or are you just looking to buy a home now? Hey, we're just window shopping, which you'll probably get more often than not, because people, aren't necessarily expecting a call, even though they need a call, right? So they're trying to keep you at arm's length. Okay, great. I can appreciate that. First thing out of the gate. So what's got you out looking for a home? Let's find out what that motivation is, right? Let's get right to it. Well, blah, 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 it doesn't really matter. I mean, and then you say, okay, well, what's your time frame for getting situated into a home? Or if you could wave a magic wand, when would you like to get situated into a home? And so here's the thing. This is how you make it easy for yourself. If somebody got a life event, birth, death, getting a job, leaving a job, marriage, divorce, relocation, something's got a hard date associated with it, there's not a truckload of objection handling to be done. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? You can always ask them, hey, okay, so you got to wait until, school's over, or, you got to wait until school starts. You want to wait, whatever it is, I want to wait until X. Okay. You could always ask them this question. If I could find you the perfect home at the perfect price, would you? Would you be open to moving sooner, right? Just to test them. But if they got a legitimate date that they're moving or something like that, then that's a little tougher one to handle, right? But however, if it's just mealy mouthed, like, well, we want to wait for interest rates to go up, we want to wait for home prices to go down, we want to wait for whatever reason, then now you've got some different objection handling, right? And technically, you can still use this with the hard dates, but it's a little tougher to get going. So hey, we want to wait. Okay, great. I can appreciate that. That's fine. What specifically are you waiting for? Well, a lot of times they won't even tell you what they're waiting for. So we want to move in the fall. Okay, what's important about the fall? What makes the fall great? Well, we think that home prices will come down and interest rates will be better then. Okay, great. So what I'm hearing is you're looking for a good deal. Is that correct? Right. The home payment is what matters, because really interest rates, it's not the interest rate. Interest rate could be 50.
Right.
As long as the home price was 50%. As long as the home price was right, then right.
I always dumb it down to like, it's a monthly cost, right? So
Yeah, exactly,
today
right?
the cost is this. So if I were able to get you, you want to be at 2,500 a month. So if I'm able to find a property that puts you at 2,500 before the fall, are you willing to, take a look at that property? Oh, absolutely. Okay, great. So now you just back them out of their rejection of, I'm waiting till the fall. I don't want to see a, listing in my email until September. Well, what if I'm able to save you some time and money?
Right on. I mean, the automobile industry had it right? Monthly payment. Nobody knows what $500,000 looks like, but they do know what $3,500 a month looks like, right? So valid point for sure. I think the other thing is, uncertainty has created some of that doubt too. When you think about it, 1/3 of the realtors that are in the market today joined the business between 2013 over the last decade, when there's really been not much bad, a lot of good, 121,000 joined between, let's call it 2020 and 2022. So, 20% of that 500,000, right?
Yeah.
So the point is not only have not a lot of consumers seen what's gone on lately, a lot of real estate agents haven't seen what's gone on lately. So there's a tremendous amount of uncertainty, and the people who are experts who are willing to spend some time talking to people and educate them on the fact that, hey, listen, it's just about the payment. So we can find a house where the price is right and the interest rate works together, and we can find you the price that works for you, right? And as long as they're going to be there 3 years or more, maybe 4 years or more, perfect. Less than 3 years, it could be too much tumult, if you will, to make that make sense. So again, you want to wait. Hey, you want to wait. I can appreciate that. Let's always cushion the objection. Let's validate it. May I ask, what is it you're waiting for? Let them tell you whatever it is. All right, super. And then, continue to ask questions until you get to timing, motivation, money. I'm going to do it. Someone else is going to do it. I got to talk to somebody. And then you can say, if I could, would you, after that, right?
And that's something I always, that in my opinion, that's one of the best objection handlers, period. If I can, will you, I don't care what it is. If I can find a home with that payment that you want, would you be willing to look at it sooner than fall? Yes. If I could put more money in your pocket than you can, Mr. For sale by owner, would you consider sitting down with me?
You're
Sure,
right.
I'll look at that. So that's a huge close to use when you're on the phone. And my opinion in the conversation, especially internet bound leads, because that seems to be taking over the whole industry, right? It's not just an internet buyer lead anymore. Now we have all these companies selling, home value estimates and stuff like that, to where you're still basically cold calling a seller that just was curious about their property value. And let's be honest, the market's up a lot. So people are surprised by their value, but then comes, well, I don't know where I would go and all the other stuff. So, at the end of the day, providing information, right? You're not going on that phone call to close somebody to work with you and go shopping for homes that day or to list their property that day. You need to provide valuable information in trade for them to continue to call you as the expert that they want to deal with when your emails or your messages, solve their problem, which is, hey, this house is really affordable, that we could upgrade to, or buy our first home and stuff like that.
It's interesting. You said that, a lot of people are afraid of being pushy per se. Pushy is, hey, listen, if you don't go out and buy a home now, home prices are going to continue to go up and you're going to miss out on buying a home. That's pushy. As opposed to, hey, listen, it sounds to me like you're looking for a good deal. Is that right? Okay, so if I could find you the perfect home at the perfect price, would you be open to looking sooner? Or if you want to do, what's his name? Chris Voss's style, you want to go negative question, which he recommends these days, you get 28%, I'm trying to think, the conversion rate goes up 20%. Would it be, ridiculous of me to think that if we found you the perfect home with the perfect price, that you'd want to look at it sooner? You could do it that way too. I'm saying, get a no answer. Those converted, it said 28% high rate. It doesn't matter to me, but if you're worried about being pushy, if you're asking questions and you're solving problems, you're not being pushy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm one of the highest D's I know, and I can be very direct and to the point, and I get it. And I try and soften that as much as I can, but you have to ask the hard questions. And this is why when people who have call reluctance or sales reluctance, they don't want to advance the call to the point where they can solve the question. I think the statistic is 4 no's gets you the business about 66% of the time. Something like that, 60, 66, if you can get the 4 no's. So, but you're not going to get 4 no's if you don't ask.
There's also one of the stats is to not go past 4 or 5, right? Once you start asking too many times, then you're going to turn that consumer off, and in my opinion on the internet thing, you should all be using CRMs, right? Yeah. And what you're providing a seller, we just uploaded all of our past clients into a new website, and every seller is now going to get a zip code based price range within 100,000 up and down of their property. They're going to see every sale once a month. So if I live in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and my house is worth 500, they're going to get, I'm going to see $400,000 to $600,000 sales every month from me. Is that valuable? Yes, that's huge for a seller. That's what they care about. Do they need to see it every month when they're not going to sell for 5 years? No, but they're going to watch it, and a life event may happen to where they may turn around and say, you know what? I didn't realize my house is better than these other ones. You've been sending me the information. I want to talk to you. Right.
But let's not underestimate, excuse me. Sorry about that. Let's not underestimate the importance of having phone calls at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You can't just, you can't just send out emails and text messages and let your CRM do all the work. You got to have phone calls.
Yep. You have to touch your database and your people. And, otherwise you'll get the call that says, hey, yeah, I did sell my house last year. And you're like, wait a second, I've been sending you information. And yes, you, along with the other 5, 10 websites that I signed up to, or the other 5 realtors I know on Facebook, Instagram, and everything else. And they all look just as busy as you. And I called the one that happened to call me, or they called me, every 3 months. Right. So, so when it comes to, outside of the fear of calling, I guess, the rejections that come up, I guess, top rejections that you've overcome. I have a realtor. What are your couple
I mean, I already have somebody, right? I'm already working with them. I can appreciate that. So I would just say, so you signed an agreement with them already? I want to clarify, so you signed a listing agreement with them already? Some of the smart people say yes, what I'm saying, because they know, but most people are like, no, I haven't. Okay, great. Awesome. If I could show you a way that I could get you, $5,000 to $10,000 more, if I could get you up to 18% more than that realtor is going to be able to get you, would you be able to let me come over and show you how I can do that? Or if they're like, no, I'm like, okay, well, did you choose this realtor because you like them, or because you think they're going to get you the most amount of money for your home or help you reach your goals? Right. And then the last thing is, you're like, hey, listen, I can appreciate that you want to work with that person. That's fine. If I may make a suggestion, just so you do the best possible job in preparing yourself for when your home does sell, don't ask, say, let me come over and take a look at your home. I'll give you an updated price for the home. I'll go ahead and tell you what to do, more importantly, what not to do to get the most amount of money for your home. And we can go over the fees and costs associated with getting your home sold, so that we have a solid second opinion. So that when you do work with that agent, you know that you're doing the best possible job for yourself.
Yeah.
Totally hand, and then get there and just, when you're in front of somebody, I have rapport, I've got credibility, I've got authority, I can say things to them that I can't say to them over the phone, right?
Mhm.
Can't poke holes in what that other agent's doing. Nicely, of course, not making them look bad, but just creating doubt,
Yeah.
when you're with this agent, did they tell you, did they talk about their marketing budget? Oh, they didn't. Okay, great. Well, we spend thousands of dollars at our company to go ahead and generate a significant number of leads to get enough buyers through your home to get you the price you're looking for. Geez, do you think that if they had a marketing budget, they would have told you about it?
Yeah.
Right. I didn't say anything bad about the person. I just created doubt, but so I think it's the progression is okay, great. I can appreciate using that person. It's cool. If I could show you how I could get you more money than they could, would you be open to letting me show you how I could do that? No. Okay, great. And then I would go for, excuse me, are you hiring this person because you like them, or you think because they're going to do the best job for you? And a lot of times that other realtor is an extended family member who's going to screw it up for them in most cases. And then lastly, I can appreciate that. Let's do this. Let me come over and take a look at your home, and then kind of offer the value of an updated price, so they can have for comparison purposes, a review of the home, so they can tell them what to do, more importantly, what not to do, get the most money, and then go over the fees so that they know they're getting a good deal with the other person they're working with. And you just got to go in and sell your butt off.
Yeah.
Right. It's all about just getting in the home. You can say whatever you want legally, ethically, and morally to get in the door, and you need to.
Yeah. And that goes with the buy side too.
Yep. We could. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, on the buy side, how I poked holes in, supposed, I have a realtor. It's very common now at open houses for realtors to just sign in with oh yes, they check the box because they don't want to be bothered. Because they figured out any consumer that's been into 2 or 3 open houses realizes that if they check, yes, I have a realtor, the realtor isn't going to call them most of the time. So with on the buy side, I use better mortgage products. And I say something like, hey, have you, has this realtor that you are working with, have they shared with you the mortgage program that doesn't have mortgage insurance, but has a 3% down payment product? Well, no. Are you open to listening to me, share how I might be able to put $50,000 to $100,000 in your pocket? Of course. All right, great. Let's talk. And then you have to know those products, and you have to have the lenders available for them. And that's the best way, right? What does Jordan Belfort say? Sharp as a tack.
Enthusiastic as hell. Sound like a force. Sound like you know what you're talking about.
Exactly. Know your trade. So
the other thing, if I can throw something on top of that, which you just said, which I think is a great idea, is have your lender call, right? Have your lender call. I'm saying, hey, listen, my name is Bob. I work with Bob's House of Mortgages and Waffles. I work with Matt Curcio at the open house recently. And I was just calling, we're offering everybody a free, pre-approval to see how much we could save them on rate and terms. Awesome. That's great. You mentioned that you're working with this realtor here. Are you 100% committed to them? Have you signed a buyer agency agreement? I haven't. Okay. Fair deal.
Yeah.
Right. In real estate, it's pretty simple. If it's not on paper and it wasn't signed, it didn't happen.
Yep.
And I think
just understand, like, these consumers are getting smarter. I always compare us to the car industry where, today you might be hot on buying a new car. And, when you fill out that form on, Ford's website, GMC's website, you're going to get the calls.
Right.
And Our
Period.
industry is very similar. And I may be interested in a house today at noon because I have a break in my schedule and I can look at it. But then when I get a call at 3 o'clock and I'm in the middle of work, I'm going to say, you know what, not right now, or a week later, or a month later, right? So just understand that the consumer is going to have those defense mechanisms built in automatically, and you just have to get over it, get them at the right time, and question your way into a relationship. So
I agree, 100%.
Awesome. Any last comments, Wally?
No, but if you want to end up being like Matt Curcio and other top agents in the country, these are the things you need to learn how to do.
Yeah.
Right. Part of the reason that Matt's so successful and has had such a successful team and is now sought out by agents across the United States and Canada for his training is because he grew his business during, at that time, the worst real estate market since the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and that's where he really earned his chops and became the person that we know him as today, or the agent we know him as today. So you've got to be able to work through this kind of stuff if you want to be a real estate agent this year, next year, 10 years, 15 years down the road.
Yep. Awesome. And we are here, guys. So reach out, follow us, find us. If it's on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, hit the like and follow button, and we will be in touch. All right. See ya.
Bye, guys. I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, Wally.
Thanks, buddy. Bye-bye.
See ya.